Hey everyone, this is Will from PowerTraders.com. Today guys, I'll be doing our weekly stock watch list. So let's first start off with the S&P 500. Pretty exciting here guys. As you guys can see here, we are now breaking above this major resistance level here, indicated by this green line. And this is great because this gives us a shot to once again trade in this channel, right? Trade in this channel. So what I think could happen in the coming days is that if we continue to move higher, maybe we'll come down and retest this blue line or potentially this green line. But ultimately, well, one, we don't want to see price get rejected here, but once we come back up, we want to see price continue to trade in this channel like we have so in the past. And I think there's a good shot that would happen. Clearly, you know how strong price has been. You guys can see here. So keep a close eye on the S&P 500. Let's see if we could break this blue line and ultimately re-enter this channel trend once again. On the Nasdaq, similar. If you look here, we are also coming up. Well, first of all, we decisively broke above this green line here, and this is great. We still have this red one here to break. But just like the S&P, we want to see price trade in this channel, top end of this channel once again. And of course, we've had a breakout returning into this channel. So let's see if we see follow through. Of course, we could easily get rejected, or we would come back down. But nonetheless, right, let's look at what price is telling us. Price is telling us that we're now back in the channel, right, because we're above this green line. So let's see if there's follow through. I think there is a good shot we'll return to trading this channel once again, just like the S&P, which is great. All right, so Amazon had a pretty great recovery here. As you guys can see here, I showed you guys last week, we came down to test these major support level here, which we held, and now we're off. We're still fighting this downward trend though. But let's see here if we could see more bullish momentum to the upside. Of course, what I like to see is us trading back in this channel again, right? But let's give price a few more days. Maybe we'll come back down, get a retest of this green line here before resuming back in, entering to this channel. We could also, what could happen is we could also trade sideways in this channel for a while also. It's something to consider. But nonetheless, the fact that we held the bottom end 3 times, we were holding major support 3 times. I think that looks pretty solid on Amazon. I don't see any reason for more downside. Again, if we do come back down here and test here, I think there's a good shot we'll hold again. Clearly we held it 3 times, so this is an important major support level. But nonetheless, just like I said, we're still fighting this downward trend, right? So we want to see some sort of breakout, some sort of bullish price action to kind of bring in the sellers back into Amazon again. All right, let's look at PayPal. PayPal looking pretty clean in its level. It's been consolidating for a few weeks now, as you guys can see here in this consolidation. I think there's a shot that this could be a bottom forming, and then we'll kind of rebound to test this all-time high up here, which is obviously a really clear major resistance level. But I think there's also a good shot we'll come back down, right? Corresponding with these touches here. And actually, I hope we do. I think if we do come back down here in this zone here, and if we hold it, right, I mean, obviously we could break lower, but I think that's unlikely, right? If you look at it, say we do come back down to this level here, that's roughly around a 37% decline. So I think that's quite unlikely. You never know, but I think that's quite unlikely. So I think it's more likely that we'll come down here, test this zone here, and then just like we have so in the past, if we come down here, since this breakout here in November of last year, every time we come down to this level here, indicated by the green line, we always come back up, right? So I think that's a great trade. If price do come down to this level, I think I'll also look for a small long position on PayPal. All right, let's look at Pfizer. A lot of I'll be showing you guys a few healthcare stocks and biotech stocks, they've been lagging the rest of the market for a while. As you guys can see here, Pfizer had an incredible rally, right? Incredible rally. Obviously, we had a decisive breakout here, right? And now we retraced most of those gains. And you guys can see here, we are testing major support level. So let's see if we hold. This is a key major support level, right? Because this is the price level where we saw the breakout here in January, around July of this year. So if we break it, that would look really bearish in my opinion. But if we do hold it, that's really, really clean, really textbook, breakout, come back down, retest, resume off. So it's really textbook if we do hold it though, right? If we hold it. But nevertheless, it's a major support level, so keep a close eye on it. I think we do have earnings coming out soon. Let's see when's dividend. Earnings coming out on November 2nd, so that's coming out soon. Keep a close eye on that. Alright, so let's look at this one. Another healthcare stock. As you guys can see here, just like Pfizer, coming down to test some major support level corresponding with these touches here. As you guys can see, right? So far we're holding, and you can see here it's been consolidating in this range for a while. Its price action, it's been stuck in this range since May of this year, so for quite a few months now. So let's see. Well, I guess the question is this a bottom forming? Are we going to see, a reversal to the upside? Potentially, right? Because we are testing major support level. But then again, just because we are holding it so far doesn't mean it will hold in the coming months, right? Maybe you'll see a bearish breakout. There is a gap here that if we do get a bearish breakout, maybe you'll see an attempt to close this gap here. So if we do see a breakout, that'll be a great short. On the other hand, if we do hold it, because after all, this is a strong major support level, right? This could be a great swing trade too if we hold it. But again, I do exercise caution. This is a really strong downward trend. So I always warn people, try not to catch the knife while it's falling. You want to see some sort of, you want to see some sort of retest or some sort of catalyst. But usually a retest is the best to get into a trade. All right, so let's look at Ultra Beauty. It's coming down to test some major support level, as you guys can see here. We're roughly down around 13.5%. So let's see if it holds its major support level here. I think you can kind of draw a major support level also like that. So you can kind of see here that price is closing in on, major support levels. So let's see if we hold. If we don't hold, then, a bearish breakout. Let's see what happens. There's not really a lot of support here if we do get a bearish breakout. But then again, just like I said, this is a major support level. So let's see if it holds in the coming days. We do have earnings. We do have earnings coming out also. See here, December 2nd. It's actually quite a while away. All right, so let's look at XBI. This is the Biotech ETF. As you guys can see here, it's just like a lot of healthcare and biotech stocks are really under a significant amount of pressure. We can clearly see here we're testing major support right now. And this is also a key important level because this area here was kind of the zone right before we saw this bullish breakout, right? So we retraced pretty much all of this move here, of this breakout, right? We retraced all of the moves, and now we're testing this major support level. So let's see what happens. Let's see if we hold. You see kind of let's see if we get a retest, resume off. And one of the reasons why I wanted to show you guys healthcare stocks and biotech stocks is because, everything in the market is booming. Cryptocurrencies, energy, tech stocks, inflation trade, everything is absolutely booming. But you got healthcare stocks and biotech stocks lagging behind. And long term, if you look at the long term, biotech stocks have done really well long term. If you look at compare the biotech ETF. Sorry, give me a second. Look at this. Since if you bought this biotech ETF right after the Great Recession, you can clearly see the outperformance against the S&P 500. But nonetheless, recently it's been lagging behind a bit. So definitely to keep a close eye. Just because it's lagging behind all the other sectors in the market doesn't mean you start buying and you start loading up on biotech stocks. But what I'm saying is that my strategy, at least, is to get in early in the trade, right? I want to catch the whole wave up, right? I don't want to catch half a wave. I want to catch from the bottom to I want to be able to catch the whole wave. So definitely keep a close eye on biotech stocks, since it is a sector that's been lagging. If we see a second wave in the coming in 2022 and 2023, then great. That could be a great investment going forward. But if not, keep it in your stopwatch list. I'm sure there's an opportunity here for sure. All right, if you guys bought, if I showed you guys a bunch of semiconductor stocks last week, we were under significant selling pressure, with all these, China, crackdown, as well as their tension with, with Taiwan. But nonetheless, if you bought last week, you've done pretty well actually in most semiconductor stocks. You can see here, TSM here, we're up quite a bit, right? We held support level here. Now we're up roughly around 8%. So let's see what happens in the coming weeks. I would probably profit if we come back up here to this resistance level. If you guys got into this trade, maybe I'll leave some for a potential, wave up. But nevertheless, I think this is a great trade if you guys got in. You probably profit somewhere there. It's a 15% gain in a trade, so that's great. Qualcomm also similar. You can see here, we held this major support level here. Last week we also came down, and so far we're holding it. But there is a chance we'll get a retest, right? We may come back down here, so never say, oh, I missed that trade, right? You want to keep a close eye. A good example is Qualcomm. Let me show you guys what I mean. If you look here, right, we came back down to test this major support level here. We came back up, but then we got a retest really quickly. It took us all the way back down here, well, a bit above it, but we got a retest, and after the retest came, the actual move to the upside. So keep a close eye on Qualcomm. Well, pretty much the whole semiconductor sector. Maybe we'll get some sort of catalyst, some news coming out of China, pushing price back down to test major support level again. All right, lastly, AMD. If you guys got into this trade, I've been covering AMD for a while because I think it's a great trade, right? We came back down here, amazing breakout, really textbook, super simple, coming back down here, testing major support low, and then resume off, right? So if you guys accumulated down here, you're long some AMD stocks down here, great for you guys. You're probably roughly up around, you're probably up around 15% also. So good for you guys for those of you guys who caught the semiconductor trade last week. Anyway, guys, just a quick recap, right? S&P 500 looking pretty strong. We haven't had a pullback yet. I think a pullback may be coming soon, but nonetheless, it's hard to predict when momentum turns off and on, right? So we could come higher, and then eventually, I think we could get rejected here, or even at this blue line here, come back down, and then kind of resume back up before we start trading in this channel again. I think this is the most, pretty much one of the most bullish scenario in S&P is to return back into this trend here and continue to trade higher, right? I think that's going to be a great. I think that's a great. There's a great chance this is going to happen. Everyone, a lot of analysts are talking about that. We're going to rally into year's end, and I think that makes a lot of sense. There's still, to be very honest, a crap ton of liquidity out there, a lot of money. A lot of wealthy people who don't know where to park their money, and So I think there's a really good chance S&P 500 will will return to trading in this channel and potentially set a new all-time high heading to the end of this year. All right, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more content.